If you are looking for the best fall-based lures, here's a list you must see. We made this list based on our personal preference and sorted it based on their features, prices, quality, durability, and reputation of the manufacturers. Also, we have included options for every type of customer. So, let's get started. At the 10th position of our list, we have Yuziri 3D Inshore Popper. You gotta have some top water gear in your tackle box. There's nothing more fun than when there's aggressive bass biting on the surface. I always try using a classic style popper in the lower line before sunrise and after sunset to see if I can't provoke a top water smash. I love the pattern on this wide cupped mouth popper option from Yuziri. The internal 3D prism finish is really effectively flashy and the neutral goosed shad color is ideal for low light scenarios. This is a 3x4 inch popper, so it's medium size as far as freshwater top water goes. This unit is built with saltwater grade split rings and hooks, so you will fish with it for years. Assuming a 10-pounder doesn't obliterate it on surface and keep it forever. For a slightly smaller popper that might provoke more eats from smaller sized bass, try this classic option from Rebel. For a big and sleepy top water snack, try choosing some larger options like the Yuziri Bullpup or a classic black jitterbug. Moving on to the next at number 9 with Propeller Deeptail Dancer. The Tail Dancer is my all-time favorite propeller. It seems to be a lesser known lure, at least in my neck of the woods, that's deserving a lot of more clout. The whitetail swimming action has season after season produced a ton of bites for me in almost every setting. This is a balsa lure body with an internal rattle. It's a classic approach to lure fishing that's worked well forever. Your tackle box will be full of tail dancers after fishing one if you're not already familiar with this model. The Deeptail Dancer in the 09 size is 3.5 inches long and runs up to a seriously impressive 30 feet. This smooth torpedo will reach the bottom unassisted and get in front of those cold water seeking monsters during the early fall. For those trying to get way down, this is a really productive lure that's more exciting to fish than jigs and rubber baits. Definitely another winner from Propeller worth having on hand. The number 8 position is held by Propeller Jointed Shotwrap 5. Here's a smaller sized suspending lure from Propeller that runs a bit deeper than the Husky jerk. The 5-sized jointed Shotwrap is a 2-inch segmented deep diver that runs from 6 to 13 feet. Its smaller size might be in better alignment with your local bait, and segmented lures are always good to have you in your box regardless. Try fishing it with real slowly off drops off and abrupt shelves where it might be perceived as an injured bait finish breaking from cover. The lip on the Shotwrap makes it dive very quickly, so try playing around it with areas that have abrupt changes in depth. There is a rattle built into this lure as well, so it calls for extra attention to itself. Like the Husky jerk, there is no shortage of color patterns available. Snag a few different options and see what produces the most bites on your water. At the 7th position of our list, we have Propeller Husky Jerk 08. He's a classic lure from renowned outfitter Propeller. The Husky Jerk is a long-lasting suspending jerk bait that can be fished at any speed. It's a versatile lure that's great for both trolling and casting around cover. The retrieve is straight and the lure is highly balanced, so try fishing it with and without some aggressive action. The 08 size is 3x1/8 inch long and runs from 4 to 6 feet deep. It's a fairly large jerk bait that will definitely entice some bigger fish. The rattle temper draws some added attention to the Husky jerk, so you can convince those sitting bass to come play. There is a ton of colors and patterns available here, so you will have no issue finding what's right for your home water. Perch pattern always produce fish, and I've personally become a big fan of the glass minnow pattern as well. Definitely a tried and true choice of ammo from Propeller. Next at number 6, we have Strike King Hack Attack Heavy Cover. Here is one of more options for fishing down lure in the water column. The Strike King Hack Attack Heavy Cover Jig is a righteous option for bouncing a bait of any type of bottom. The heavy weed guard on this jig enables it to be pulled through some seriously thick vegetation and the structure without issue, which can produce some otherwise unreachable fish. There is a huge array of color choices and sizes available, so you can really fine-tune your approach. I have a lot of luck fishing the larger sized Strike Kings in deep, open water and 2 killer in the weeds with the smallest sized jigs. Some of the heavier sizes are best fished on braid on heavy fluoro, so you can really got some response from your jig. This unit is built with a Gamakatsu black nickel heavy wire hook, so there has been no corners cut in terms of quality. It's a well-designed jig style that you'll find yourself coming back to again and again. The number 5 position is held by Yuziri Crystal 3D Minor Deep Diver. Here's a different style deep diver from Yuziri. The Crystal 3D Minor Deep Diver might not dive nearly as deep as the tail dancer previously listed, but it still gets down there up to 13 feet. This lure is a great trolling option that has a particularly tight wiggle to make it appear as a foraging bait fish. It's also a nice casting lure for slow retrieves and some stop and go action. I really love the color patterns Yuziri has come up with for their Crystal Minor series in general. Striking UV colors and translucent patterns are designed to reflect as much subsurface light as possible, so this snag is highly visible even in the lowest light. I'm personally a big fan of the Southern pattern pictured above, as well as their Chinese shad option. Amazon offers this deep diver in 5-1x4 and 6-inch sizes, so this is another lure for targeting bigger fish. Yuziri also sells the Crystal 3D Minor in floating as well as suspending variants. The number 4 position is dominated by Propeller XRap Jerkbait XR10. The XRap is no doubt a crowd favorite, and for good reason. This jerkbait has a seriously awesome slashing action that's sometimes the only thing that moves picky baits. This is a versatile option that can be retrieved like a classic wobbling propeller or given some aggressive action. Don't be surprised if you hook all sorts of species with this one. The XRap is tough for any fish to resist. I prefer fishing the larger size class of this lure when targeting baits for this reason. The XR10 is 4 inches and runs from 4 to 6 feet and suspends when passed. This is a bigger lure for bigger fish. I'll love retrieving this lure with some whiskash slashes with some quick intermittent stops in the mix. If you really want to make a scene in front of difficult to tempt baits, this is a great choice. Propeller has built the XRap with an internal long cast system, and it really does cast nicely. For shore fishing and casting on big water, this is a lure that gets quite nicely and really get out there. The textured holographic body, 3D holographic eyes, black nickel hooks and flash feeder teaser tail are all righteous features that sets this bad boy apart from a lot of the other comparable slash baits. Propeller has really paid attention to detail with this one, and you will realize the difference. Moving on to the next at number 3 with Booyah Pound Magic Spinner Bait. You have to have a few spinner baits on hand. Booyah's Pound Magic Spinner Bait is a tasty small little snag that fall baits will have a hard time turning down. This is a smaller sized spinner bait, 3x16 ounce, that won't intimidate even baits in the lower size classes. There is an awesome array of color choices, so you can snag a few and see what produces the most fish on your home water bodies. The 60-strand ultra-fine silicone skirt is designed to hold up well in the long term through some heavy fishing. The mustard ultra point hook is also built to have a long lifespan. Considering the low cost of these spinner baits and quality of construction, I find them to be one of the best value fall bait lures out there. The number 2 position is held by Yamamoto Sinker Bait. When in doubt, toss a Gary Yamamoto. Slow sinking these rubber baits, Texas rigged on a 3x0 sized Gamakatsu hook, is almost foolproof approach to bass fishing. When the fish are being particularly picky, it's always wise to try dropping a Yamamoto right in their face. Fishing these forms wacky style also moves a lot of fish. Some of my personal best largemouth have been caught up at bottom fishing a wacky worm. Consider using a slightly smaller circle hook when fishing wacky style to draw and minimize out hooking fish. Using wacky or rings to firmly secure your worm to your hook is also a wise decision that greatly reduces the amount of worms you cast off and lose to fish. With weedless and open water options to fish this rubber worm, there is nowhere you can try tossing it. Definitely a versatile and highly productive base weapon. It's worth having an assortment of colors. When it comes to rubber baits in general, it always seems like there is a color of the day worth pinning down whenever I try fishing them. Rubber baits, if lost, are not healthy for any body of water, and many species of fish have been known to ingest discarded worms off the bottom. Be a mindful angler and always keep an eye on your rubber baits to minimize your impact on the fishing space you and others love. Finally, the number 1 position is dominated by Powerbait power worms. Try fishing this style rubber worm in heavy vegetation and cover. The power worm is perhaps the most fun way to fish the remaining lily pads in early fall, and does great over rock piles as well. Rigging this style worm up leadless enables you to slide through dense structure and move those hard to reach finish. Most bites occur on the drop, but bouncing these worms off the bottom can be super productive as well. If you can slow stop and go retrieve can earn big base because of the tantalizing action of the tail. Try the 10-inch option if you want to target the big boys, and the 7-inch size for base of all sizes. Pumpkin seed, motor oil, and all other darker colored colors seems to work the most consistently. That's all for today. We upload product review videos in every single day, so don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button for the upcoming